the Silver Lake, the Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Without further delay, Gulls baseball fan, let's welcome the first ever coach in our history, Jason Chatwood.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your Sylvan Lake Gulls! Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to respectfully acknowledge that the land on which we gather tonight is Treaty 6 territory, home to the Métis Nation of Alberta Region 3. These lands are traditional meeting grounds, gathering places, and travel routes for many nations, including the Cree, Dene, Blackfoot, Métis, Saulteaux, and Nakota Sioux. We're grateful to the traditional knowledge keepers and elders who are still with us today and those who have gone before us. We gratefully acknowledge and thank all of any First Nations, Métis, and Inuit whose footsteps have marked these lands for centuries. In collaboration with the Western Canadian Baseball League, the Sylvan Lake Gulls are very proud to welcome all of you to Gulls Field at Pogallo Park in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, Canada. Welcome to tonight's doubleheader, 2 7-inning ball games in the WCBL against the visiting Swift Current 57's and the home team, who you'll meet shortly, your Sylvan Lake Gulls. Before we get to our anthems tonight, presented by Mobile One Lube Express, let's go down to field level and meet some special guests who are on field with our game day host, Jared Waldo.
All right, thank you very much, Joe. Joining us on the field tonight is our Crucial Diesel Little Leaguer of the game. Everybody say hello to Daxton Horner. Daxton Horner, tonight's Crucial Diesel Little Leaguer of the game.
Thanks very much, Jared. And we'd like to give special acknowledgement to our flag party on field this evening. Augustin Singbagby and Derek Childs are joining us tonight. We appreciate their support at each and every Sylvan Lake Gulls home game. We will meet the starting lineups for the home team in game 1, which is the visitors from Swift Current, and the visitors, who are the usual home team from Sylvan Lake. That's all still to come, but right now, if you're able, please rise, remove your caps, and join our anthemist, Pam Sherman, for the singing of the Star Spangled Banner and O Canada.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag
anthems at Silver Lake Gulls.
Following their day off yesterday, the Gulls prepare themselves for a very busy week ahead here at home and look to get back to work. And why not get back to work with a first doubleheader in franchise history. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Cal Clark, and this is my broadcast partner, Jim Claggett, as we get you set for a tilt against the Swift Current 57's. First time the Gulls have seen the 57's, thanks to a rained-out game back on June 15th. That's why we play a doubleheader here tonight. And Sylvan Lake looking to get the bats going, because come after Sunday on that weird day, it wasn't going the right direction for them.
Well, you know, and that was not self-induced, definitely. Luis Martinez Gomez for the Giants was lights out. Striking out 9 or 11, I think. Sorry, 11 probably. Gave up 1 hit, gave up 1 run, 2 base hits, or 2 hits to the outfield all night long. So, yeah, I think the boys have to do a little self-inspection there, a little think back, like, okay, we could just go start hitting the ball hard. See if it falls in.
Well, and it's just a matter of time the Sylvan Lake Gulls finally get their bats swinging in the right direction, if you will, because they've really had a little bit of a struggle here at home, and it hasn't been very consistent. So they got a lot of stretch of home games here down the road that will maybe allow them to get their bats comfortable in front of the home crowd.
And let's not be confused here, by the way. We should think for people that are watching, when Swift Current takes the field first defensively, because they are the home team in this game, because as you mentioned about the rain out. So the Gulls will be the visiting team, and then they'll be the home team in the second half of this twin bill here. So 7 innings, let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we're going to see for the first time this season Logan Grant playing against his former team since being here last year, as Jim likes to call him, Logan Boots Grant. And we sure miss his cowboy boots on the field, don't we?
Well, they didn't smell so good, but they sure looked off. They were sharp.
Yeah, that's true.
They were sharp. I mean, he's a catcher. He's got to have a quirky thing going on, right?
Yeah,
Most catchers do. Ben Pettigrew here, he's got the same thing. He's got. They both have loads of personality, and they're good ball players too. So it's gonna be fun to watch, see what this Swift Current team has to bring, and see if the Gulls can rebound from Sunday night's last game.
Well, we'll see what they have in store for us here tonight, as we will hand things over to the public address announcer, Joe Whitbread, and in-game host, Jared Waldo.
Introduce you to the home club and our starting lineup for your Silver Lake Gulls when they take the field in their half of the first inning. While we have a moment, let's introduce you to the umpire crew. Calling balls and strikes for game 1 is Marcel Bruce. At first base, Jared Greenberg. And over at third base, Brad Johnston. And for the first time tonight, let's meet the home team. Give a Central Alberta welcome to the Swift Current 57's. Batting first, playing center field, number 8, Justin Barnes. At shortstop, batting second, Tajon Smith. At second base, batting third, number 22, Thomas Collins. The designated hitter in the cleanup spot, number 28, Matthew Ward. In left field, batting fifth, number 11, Logan Grant. In right field, batting sixth, number 16, Hayden Cooper. Batting seventh, playing first base, number 5, Brody Alexander. At third base, batting eighth, number 24, Logan Stockton. And rounding out the 57's order, the catcher, number 21, Nick Chavez. The starting pitcher warming up in orange on the hill tonight, number 34, Graydon Stopper. The home team for the first half of our 7-inning doubleheader, the Swift Current 57's and your Silver Lake Gulls.
We're hoping the rain stays away this evening, because this is a rained-out game, makeup game. So let's hope the rain doesn't cancel this one as well. So it's Swift Current in town as the home team tonight. Sylvan Lake Gulls, the visiting team, to start off this first of the twin bill here, both 7-inning games, and leading things off will be last game's player of the game, the Snap Fitness player of the game, Mike Polson. Cleary Simpson over at first, and Caden Zeroni are the three batters scheduled to start. And the first pitch here from Graydon Stoffer is swung on and fouled off by Mr. Polson, who's playing shortstop this evening. Marcel Bruce is behind the plate. Jared Greenberg over at first base, and Brad Johnston down the left field line. Those are our three umpires this evening. Swing and a miss there. So go down to 0-2.
And I gotta say, Jim, this is kind of a unique way to see a game for once here at Gulls Field, because they're usually taking the field first, and it's always the other team that's at bat. So maybe that's the change they need with being at bat here first, as Michael Polson will strike out.
Not starting off very well.
Yeah, didn't start off very well, but I thought maybe just by changing it up a little bit, because we know their at bats haven't been very consistent here at home as of late, that this could be a nice change for them. But
you never know.
One down, one up.
if it works out, if they break out with the bats, they might want to be the visiting team every time.
Well, that's the thing. You know.
It's all in the mind.
It can be, yeah.
Well, this is Cleary Simpson stepping in to face Graydon Stoffer.
And as I like to call him, Clutch Cleary, he came in clutch on Sunday night in the first game. So I say this is the first doubleheader in franchise history, because really it is the first full doubleheader we've seen. Sunday we had a little bit of a taste of what a doubleheader could look like. Just it was more of a resume play kind of game.
Yeah, only 2.5 innings there. So and Stoffer misses outside, but that one go 2-0.
But in game one, Cleary, he actually ended up hitting in one of the runs that got them to take the lead and come back and beat the Fort McMurray Giants.
Well, he did make a great base running play that evening. He got about 2/3 of the way down to second, and the shortstop at the time, Villalobos, I believe, was.
Yeah.
And he looked at Cleary thinking, oh, am I going to tag him? Then he looked at home. Oh, I can't get the guy at home. Oh, and now the guy at first ended up sliding across and scoring the run. So Simpson now just draws a walk.
Yeah, very smart base running by.
Yeah,
that was cool, and that was something that it even had me fooled up here in the booth, not even realizing the runner on third to draw him to go in for a score, and meanwhile Cleary was kind of taking away the attention from him.
And it was a slow hit down to the shortstop, so he really didn't have much of a choice. He did look at home, and then he looked over at first, but looked at second. There was a lot of places that he looked, but he knew he only had one play, and that was to go to first. And he delayed long enough that Polson slid in safely at first base. So this is center fielder Caden Zeroni stepping in. One down here. We are just underway at Gulls Field. The Gulls, once again, the visiting team for this makeup game against Swift Current. Stoffer having a little bit of a problem finding the strike zone right now.
And normally
pitch walk to Simpson, and 1-1 to count now on Zeroni.
Sorry to cut you off there, Jim, but normally Sylvan Lake would be in Swift Current to play this makeup game, but because Sylvan Lake has already done their Eastern road swing, and Swift Current still had to come here, they just made it 2 here at Gulls Field.
Simpson took off on that pitch for second base. This is fouled out of play. Take a big bounce, and almost a good catch there.
Almost landed in the suite right next to us, actually.
Yeah.
It was very close.
It was close. You gotta get your hand out there and catch this.
I was thinking about it, but
just don't walk the camera off.
No, that's the thing. Our camera guy might hate me. if I
You
did
will
that.
have to deal with Calvin Devils.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Nope.
No. 1-2 the count to Zeroni. And that is far outside to even the count at 2-2. Cleary Simpson over at first base after drawing a 4-pitch walk from the 57's starter, Graydon Stoffer. And Zeroni hits this deep to left field over the head of the left fielder Logan Grant. And Cleary Simpson is going to go. He's going to be sent home by Coach Jason Chatwood, and he will score standing up. And right there, A hard hit ball, taking advantage of a base on balls. Clary Simpson scores. Caden Cerrone with a stand-up double and an RBI.
That was a huge double by Caden Cerrone. He only needed another 3 feet to clear that fence, and it bounced right off the wall and in play, and Logan Grant had, well, there's a taste of welcome home, Logan Grant, I guess, for you.
He didn't have to chase too many down when he was catcher.
And I told him before the game, too, I told Grant, I said, hey, if you want to miss a few in left field, that's totally fine by me. And he had a quick smirk on his face.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah. You know the Logan Grant smirk, as
Yes, we've
seen that a few times last year.
Right fielder Jackson Clement stepping in to face Stauffer. First pitch misses outside for ball 1. So now here's a chance, like I said, you know, with the Gulls struggling with the bats, and now a pitcher that's struggling to find the plate. You wait on your pitch and give it a ride, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty good logic, I think. And Clement drops this one into shallow left field, and Logan Grant makes the catch on that one to record the second out of the inning. That will bring up your designated hitter, the man from Watrous, Saskatchewan, Tyler McWillie, who wants to get off to a really good start tonight, I'm sure.
Yeah,
He's got a bat. We know that he can swing the bat hard. And he can put it out here. We've seen him hit one just over dead center field, which is over 400 feet. So Tyler McWillie, I mean, I did put the pressure on him.
You did.
I said he was going to hit 20 and he needs 17 more. So, but nobody's counting Tyler.
And
Don't worry about it.
Pretty sure he said that was too many when we talked to him before the last game.
But you know, I don't think it is.
Yeah.
I think he's got it in him. It's low and outside for ball 1.
Well, Tyler McWillie, he's got so far 3 home runs, 13 RBIs. His batting average, as he said, is maybe not quite up to where it should be at a 245 right now. But he's hoping to change that and turn it around right away. And this is a team that he easily could have played on this year, too, being from Watrous, Saskatchewan.
That's right.
But instead, he decided to come back to Sylvan Lake, Alberta.
Oh, that's I'm going to think that's a wild pitch.
Yeah.
Because Clary Simpson had already scored, and that means Caden Cerrone, who was standing over at second base, unexpectedly wanders over to third on the wild pitch. And just, you know, we heard some news earlier with, speaking of Tyler McWillie, his roommate, his buddy from Saskatchewan, Kyle Freilich, is not going to be coming back to the Gulls this year. He has got an issue, an injury that he wants to take care of, and that's fouled off. Count now 2-1. So he's going to take the month of July off, just because he wants to go back down south and play again.
Yeah.
So he's just going to be very cautious and just take his time. And the Gulls now can replace him, but they have to do it before July 15th, and whoever they bring up has to play before July 15th in order to remain on the roster. McWillie drives this to Tejon Smith over at short. He flips it over to first base, and just like that, the inning's over. But the Gulls strike first as they get a base on balls to Clary Simpson. Then Caden Cerrone drives one deep to left field to score Simpson. The Gulls with a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first inning.
All right, Dan, welcome to the doubleheader. 270 games back-to-back. There'll be a half-hour break in between. Let's meet the visitors for the first game, and we know them well. Usually the home team, but they are visitors because they're out being swift. Your home team, the Silver Lake Gulls, starting shortstop from North Bend, Colorado, University of Area, North Dakota, number 10, Mike Wilson. At first base, batting second from Corby College in Kansas. He's from Elnora, Alberta, number 21, Clary Simpson. In center field, batting third from Broward College in Missouri, and Josh Tucker. Have a round of applause from your Silver Bulls,
Here we go, bottom of the first inning. The Swift Current 57's, who are the home team for this first game, and I'll mention it so many times because I know I will forget it. Wondering why Sylvan's batting at the top of the inning and Swift is batting at the bottom. That's why it's a made-up game. It's a rain out, so here we go. This is the center fielder, Justin Barnes, who will face off against Josh Tucker. Ben Prediger is the catcher tonight for Tucker. I'll get to the defense behind Tucker in a moment here. Here comes the first pitch to Barnes, and he promptly sends that foul down the left field line. So Chase Rodriguez is out in left field, Caden Zeroni in center, Jackson Clement is your right fielder. Jack Shark, Michael Polson, Matty Fung, and Clary Simpson are the infielders. Ben Prediger, the catcher, and as I mentioned, Josh Tucker is the pitcher. Tyler McWillie is the designated hitter tonight. And that pitch catches the corner for strike two. 1-0 Gulls lead it here as we are into the bottom of the first inning. On a sunny, so far, evening. Clouds are behaving right now.
Yeah. Oop. And rightfully so. They should be. We've had enough rain this season.
And then Justin Barnes is trying to sell that he got hit. And he sold it enough that home plate umpire Marcel Bruce said, yep, I could see where the mark was. I could see it. He's showing Ben Prediger. There was a mark there. I saw it. And Coach Chatwood is going to say, well, wait a minute. That could have been anything. That could have been from a previous game. Who knows? He's not going to win this one. He's just making his point. It's like, and he's not giving up.
Yeah, you better be careful.
Yeah.
We've already seen a few coaches being thrown out of these games lately.
Yeah.
Here at Gulls Field.
And Coach Chatwood was one of them.
He was one of them, yeah.
Arguing a sketchy ball.
Well, especially when he just got back from a weekend away with his family. I mean, yeah, you don't want to get kicked out of your first game back.
No. So the leadoff hitter, Barnes, is up over at first base. And that's Tejon Smith stepping in to face Josh Tucker. Thomas Collins is the on-deck batter for the 57's. And Tucker misses low and outside. 2-0 the count now on the shortstop for the 57's. Should find out what the 57 is significant. Is that maybe when Swift Current was incorporated? I'm not sure. I'd have to find out. Inquiring minds want to know. Good block there by Ben Prediger on that ball. It was in the dirt. 3-0 the count right now on Tejon Smith. 1-0 Gulls lead it. They scored on a walk to Clary Simpson and a solid double deep to left field by Caden Zeroni, who has really come into his own and hitting the ball hard everywhere. And that catches the corner as Smith was taking all the way. 3-1 the count now.
So I found out that the Swift Current 57's, the reason why they're called the 57's is because they were originally the 6 teams in the league. And so it's honoring the 57 seasons that the team has played as the Swift Current Indians known before they were the 57's.
I see. Okay. Well, thank you for finding that out for me.
There
Look
you
at
go.
that. Ask and you'll find out.
Yeah.
There we go.
Thanks to our guy down in the truck and a quick little Google search to confirm. And thank you, Rob.
Well, and while that was happening, this was happening. A wild pitch on the ball 4 that sent Smith over to first base, and Justin Barnes made it down to second really, really fast and rounded second. He was headed for third, but Ben Prediger got on the ball quick and recovered and kept him at second base. But still, none out here, and the Gulls are in trouble right now. 0-1 the count right now on Thomas Collins, who's playing first or second base this evening for Swift Current. bunt foul there to put the count at 0-2 for the number 3 hitter. The designated hitter, Matthew Ward, is on deck. Josh Tucker hitting 90 on the radar gun on that pitch. And of course, we always have to say that the gun is probably off a little bit. This is grounded to Cleary Simpson over at first. He flips it high over the head of Michael Polson. And that is going to score Justin Barnes from second base. So an error there to Cleary Simpson with that throw over the head. He just tried to throw it a little too soft. Maybe sometimes that happens. You try and aim it, and it just doesn't work.
Yeah, and he's trying to lob it over the runner too, which was Tajon Smith. He was right in front of him, so he's trying to kind of lob it over him, and a little bit too much heat with the lob, and they're running back to the outfield to grab it.
Mike Polson is a tall man, but he's not quite that tall.
Yeah, he's got a good jump on him too, but can't quite jump that high either, I guess.
So 2 men on, runners at first and second, nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. We are now tied at 1 apiece. This is the designated hitter, Matthew Ward. And he takes that pitch for a ball. 1-1 the count now.
And I actually found out some interesting information from head coach Joey Jordan, who's coaching the team for the first time this season. And Joey was explaining to me that they're playing good ball, but it's not very consistent. He said they got to keep their heads in the game all the way through. As that's grounded to Matty Fung over to second, trying to turn on the double play, and they do it. As Cleary Simpson makes the grab over at first. And 2 away just like that. However, it advances Tajon Smith over to third. And he's well in scoring position.
This is former Sylvan Lake Gull catcher, now Swift Current 57's left fielder, Logan Grant. I think those are the same cleats he was wearing when he was here.
Well, didn't remember he got his cleats bought for him by his billets here in Sylvan Lake?
That's right. He must like them.
Yeah.
Because he's still wearing them.
Wonder if he caught up with those billets with the visit here in Sylvan on Tuesday night.
It wouldn't surprise me if he did.
Yeah.
He takes that first pitch for a ball. And Tucker comes in with that one at 91 miles an hour to even the count at 1-1. 2 down here in the bottom of the first inning. We are tied at 1. Tajon Smith, the runner over at third. And Grant watches that come in off speed for strike 2.
And you can just see the body language. He's not quite agreeing with the calls from the umpire, but
it's early.
It's early.
Come on.
Yeah.
And Tucker trying to paint the corner on the outside, but he misses with that one. 2-2 the count now. Pretty good crowd here tonight.
Yeah.
I would say over 1,000 once again. That's a good very rough guesstimate.
Yeah.
And a swing and a miss there as Josh Tucker gets out of the inning by striking out the former Gull, Logan Grant. But the damage was done in the top of the order with a hit by a pitch and then a base on balls and then, well, an error, a throwing error by Cleary Simpson scoring the first run. But so they got 1 run on no base hits and left 1 man on base. And after 1 complete, we are tied, headed to the top of the second. We are headed to the top of the second. Matty Fung, Jack Shark, and Ben Prediger, the scheduled batters against the starter for the Swift Current 57's in their bright orange uniforms, Graydon Stoffer. And Fung takes the first pitch and the one hopper back to the mound. Stoffer handles it easily, and one pitch and one out, just like that.
Yeah,
Third baseman Jack Shark. Sorry, Kale.
No, you're good.
Striding to the plate here to face Stoffer.
I was just going to say, yeah, those uniforms, they do look a little sharp out there, the orange on the orange. A little black and white on there, too. Yeah,
and they got the green undershirts, so it's kind of like the University of Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Which I didn't mind.
Yeah. It's different.
Yeah, it is different. It's nice to see the different uniforms.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, it was like, oh, there's the Prospects. Oh, there's Lethbridge. Oh, there's Okotoks red. There's Okotoks black. And that was pretty much it.
So I noticed he lined up to bunt, and I noticed left third baseman, I should say, Stockton came in just a little bit. So now he's kind of on the alert and just waiting to see what Shark does here. Took a swing there, though.
Yeah, 1-1 the count. And, you know, I was saying this to somebody here today. I can't remember who I was talking to, but we were talking about, oh, it might have been Graham Schetzel. That's who it was, the owner. And I said, you know, Fort McMurray laid down 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, 4 perfect bunts in that game.
Yeah.
And not on their second or third try. They did it on their very first each time.
Yeah.
So maybe the Gulls are saying, hey, you know what? That's not a bad way of getting base runners. You know?
No, absolutely.
If he's going to play that deep down at third base.
They did it perfectly, too. Like you said, it just, if Sylvan can master as he takes a swing at that one, and it's a first strikeout of this inning. Second strikeout of the game.
That's correct. You are
I'm on.
100% right.
Hey, there you go. That doesn't happen very often.
Catcher Ben Prediger comes up and taps Nick Chavez on the shin pads to say hi to his fellow catcher, the union, the catcher's union. They all salute the tools of ignorance. I always have a soft spot in my heart for catchers. Catchers and goaltenders.
I was just going to say, how about goaltenders?
Yeah, and offensive linemen in football.
Okay.
They were always my best friends because they protected me.
Yeah.
And I can remember buying the odd drink after a game where I stayed clean the whole team. I said, hey, there you go, guys, little incentive.
There you go.
Don't do any lookout blocks.
So you, I'm guessing, either quarterback or running back?
That's quarterback.
Quarterback,
Yep.
okay.
I love that. There's a pitcher in baseball, a catcher, or a goalie in hockey, and a quarterback in football.
Interesting.
A setter in volleyball, a guard in basketball.
Did it all.
I love playing sports, and I like when I talk to these guys down here and they talk about how they play other sports as well, because skills are transferable from one sport to another. You might not use all, right, or you might not use any, but they're there. So 2-1 to count right now on Ben Prediger as we stop talking about my tainted
Jim
history.
Claggett's history in sports.
Sketchy history. Prediger sends this down foul and out of play down the right field line. 2-2 the count now. 2 down. We are in the top of the second inning. That's right, top of the second. Don't worry, I know I get confused, but I'm not that confused. This is, there you can see the pitcher, Graydon Stoffer. He is with Swift Current. They are the home team for this first game. A little looping shot out to the second baseman, Thomas Collins, but no problem there as he makes the catch, ends the inning 3 up, 3 down, nobody left on base, no runs scored, and we are headed to the bottom of the second inning, tied at 1.
All right, fans, welcome to the Mills Field at Pocano Park here on a Tuesday night. We got a doubleheader for you. Rolling down here on the top one, down by IS1. Inviting you to purchase your next 32 tickets, and tonight we're going to ride a roll all the way into game number 2. Now we're going to the fourth inning of game 2, then we'll call that ticket number. And somebody's going to walk home with a little bit more money in their pocket tonight. So let's get the outfield on the big screen for $500.
This is the bottom of the second inning here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park. We are tied at 1. Jim Claggett, Cale Clark bringing you the game here on Home Team Live.
And a beautiful night that it turned out to be, Jim. We were just talking about it. I think we're, knock on wood, obviously, we might be getting lucky on this one tonight.
I hope so.
Well,
These guys
we
deserve a
it.
weather break, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is right fielder Hayden Cooper stepping in to face Josh Tucker here in the leading things off in the bottom of the second inning.
I can tell you right now that President and GM of Baseball Operations, Akil Samuel, is pretty happy right now because he was sure quiet when I got here earlier on today looking at the radars. That's grounded to Matty Fung and over to Clary Simpson to record the first out in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, you know, if there's somebody that should be pulling his hair out and have kind of the same hairstyle as me right now, it's Akil Samuel trying to organize all the, okay, we've got this game, but we got to play this one, and then we got these guys coming in. We can't send them back home. We got to play these games. So, and actually, Graham Schetzel said to me, he says, you know, if we get ringed out, he says, there might be some breakfast baseball tomorrow. I said, well, it would be interesting, you know, the bacon and eggs and hash browns and toast, you know, and that smell would drive me nuts.
I wouldn't complain, to be honest, though. That'd be pretty cool. Oh, bacon and egg and coffee with your broadcast in the morning? Why not?
First baseman Brady Alexander steps in, and he is quickly down 0-2 as Josh Tucker catches the corner with that pitch. One down in the bottom of the second. We are tied at 1. Swift Current, the home team in this first of 2 here at Pagato Park. And Tucker misses that one outside. 1-2 the count. And a big cut at that one, 88-mile-an-hour fastball. He couldn't catch up to it. And that's the second strikeout of the game for Josh Tucker.
Well, this is Josh Tucker's 6th start as a Sylvan Lake Gull this season, and he's got a ERA at 2.96, and he's pitched about, well, before this game, just over 27 innings with 47 strikeouts, so he's closing in on 50 strikeouts on the year with one more in this game.
This is popped up to the infield, and that is Ben Prediger getting a glove on it, squeezes it, 3 up, 3 down. As the Gulls take care of business here in the bottom of the second inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left on base. We are through 2 complete and headed to the top of the third, tied at 1.
Welcome to the ballpark, everybody. We're glad you're with us. Your chance to win not once, but multiple times through 2 games this evening. Just a reminder, there are 2 7-inning ball games in front of your very eyes in Silver Lake, Alberta tonight. The second game scheduled to start a half hour after the end of the first one. And our promo crew, along with Sully, the Gully, are getting ready to give away a ton of great prizes tonight. So be ready to cheer loud, sing along, and have some fun.
Well, we are headed to the top of the third inning here, and the bottom of the order, and that's Chase Rodriguez, the left fielder, coming to face Graydon Stauffer. He'll be followed by Mike Polson and Clary Simpson, who got things going back in the first inning, scoring the first run for the Gulls.
You know, and I'm really excited to see how Caden Zeroni comes up at bat here. Just, 3 batters away after Chase Rodriguez. He, when he gets going, he's consistent. I mean, last time he hit a double, he hit 2. So I'm excited to see what he can do here tonight if he's hitting that well already.
He doesn't seem to stop at 1, does he?
No.
That's good. Makes good contact. And this is Chase Rodriguez in on the fists. This could drop in. Nope, left fielder Logan Grant corrals it out in left field. And just like that, 1 down. And that brings up the top of the order, Mike Polson, who struck out his first time up facing Graydon Stoffer. Let's see if he learned anything from that at bat.
Here's the shortstop, number 10, Mike Olsen.
Yeah, a really good crowd here tonight. I think it's getting more and more, and as we get closer to seeing more people seated, I think you're right. It's definitely over 1,000 people here in attendance tonight.
So Mr. Polson was the one that got on base and got the RBI for the only run they got against Fort McMurray on the makeup game, or the finished incomplete game. And he takes that pitch, 1-1 the strike. But he told me, he said, I wasn't thinking about breaking up the no-hitter. He says, I was just trying to get on base. He says, but breaking up the no-hitter was a bonus.
Yeah.
So you don't like to be no-hit.
Yeah.
Nobody does. And that's high and inside. 2-1 the count now on Polson. Top of 3 here, 1 down. We are knotted up at 1.
And Luis Martinez Gomez, he had just a phenomenal game in that second game of that day on the Sunday there. It was phenomenal. You could tell once Polson, that's a ball there. You can tell once Polson, he got that hit. He was almost disappointed with himself. But the bases were loaded at that point. It was just a matter of time that something was going to happen.
They didn't hit the ball very hard, unfortunately.
No.
And that gets away from Nick Chavez, but Polson will make the somewhat wide turnaround first, but he wasn't going anywhere. So he gets on with the base on balls. And that's how things started in the top of the first. The base on balls.
I almost wonder if they ran out of gummies or whatever, but I've noticed that the gummies have not been handed out at first in a little while.
Well, maybe it's with a walk, though.
Maybe.
Maybe it's a walk.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know the rules of gummy handouts. I didn't read that one.
I'll have to find out.
Oh, and Polson started to go, slowed down, and thought, I'm dead. No, looked back and saw the ball on the feet of Dick Chavez and said, I'm just going to keep on going. I got myself a stolen base. Just like that. Cleary Simpson at bat. He took a base on balls, 4 pitches back in the first inning. And there's 1 ball on him right now.
He scored the run, too, for the Silver Lake Gulls, thanks to Kane Zeroni's big double.
That's right. And he lifts this into foul territory. Logan Grant has got a beat on it, and he is going to get there and not really crash into the fence, but, he made it look good.
Yeah, he's going in with a little heat, I think, that's for sure.
Yeah, he wasn't going to put the brakes on. I don't know, the warning track is a little damp right now. I don't think you're going to get very much grip, because we've had, I know it's shocking, but we've had a little bit of rain over the last little while in central Alberta.
You almost wonder if the boys miss him a little bit, because they've been hitting quite a number of balls out to Logan Grant so far, and it's early, and he's already seen a number of balls flying his way, so they're definitely testing him out in left field.
3 for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe think, he's a catcher. He can't play left field. This is Caden Zeroni, and that ball gets by Nick Chavez, and that is going to move Polson down to third base. So he is in scoring position now, for sure. And Caden Zeroni, as you mentioned, hard hit ball over the head of Logan Grant. He didn't have a chance to catch that one. It got out of here, or at least over his head, really fast.
Yeah. Not far from getting out of here completely, though. It was about 3 to 4 feet just underneath the top of the fence.
Stoffer misses inside with that one on Zeroni. 2-0 the count now on the Gulls center fielder, who has the only RBI of the evening for Sylvan Lake. And he takes a cut at that pitch, which was outside, but it looked good enough to him. Little off-speed pitch there from Graydon Stoffer. 2-1 the count now on Zeroni. 2 down here in the top of the third. And he watches that come inside off speed to even the count at 2-2.
That was a good pitch, too. I was expecting maybe they were thinking to go outside after they saw him swing on that breaking ball, and maybe they would try to get him swinging again outside, but the catcher held his mitt right over the center of the plate.
Zeroni pops this into foul territory. Chavez over there, almost got a glove on it. A good effort there by Chavez, but just couldn't get there in time. And I know we say this all the time, but there's an awful lot of foul territory in this ballpark, and that can do two things. You can get second chances because the guy can't get to it, or you don't get a second chance because the guy has enough time and enough room to get to it. So either one, you can work it both ways. 2 down, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Top of the third, we are tied at 1 here. And Zeroni fouls this off down the first base line. That's going to drop as well.
And Mike Polson, as he comes in all the way to the home plate, gives Zeroni a nice little tap on the head as he heads back to third. Good job. Keep staying in there.
Yeah, hang in there, man.
Hang in there. I'm almost home. Just get me home is probably what he wants to say to him right now.
Yeah, I've run this far.
Yeah.
Don't leave me here. And that was one of the things, you know, over the last little while that the Gulls, they seem to leave an awful lot of players on base. And I'm sure the coaches addressed that with them. They don't need to hear it from me, but I mean, the last game they only got 1 hit, but they still left 5 men on base. They didn't take advantage of the walks and the hit by pitch and the errors.
Yeah.
So, but again, we go back to the starting pitcher for the Giants, and he was terrific. And all the Gulls that I talked to after that game, they all said every pitch of his was working. Every pitch. That's hard to beat. And Zeroni hits this one, and it just went foul. That did not go foul by very much. Brad Johnson down the third base line had probably the best view of it, other than Logan Grant. And we know Logan's not going to say, yeah, that was fair.
Yeah, that was close. Just the wrong side of the line.
Yeah, that was another stand-up double, I'm pretty sure, for Zeroni.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those for left fielder, it's scooting away to your right. And even if you can't get on it, you still got to plant and throw almost across your body to get the guy at second base. So 2-2 the count right now on Zeroni. He's hanging in there. That's about 4 or 5 foul balls right now, this at bat. And that's nervy watching a pitch like that come in.
Yep.
But it was high enough that he had all the confidence. Now he's worked the count to full. Jackson Clement, the right fielder, is the man on deck. Graydon Stoffer delivers, and he hits Caden Zeroni. And that brings up Clement, who flew out to left field back in the first inning.
So even getting hit by pitch, no gummies over at first. So interesting.
We'll have to get to the bottom of this.
Exactly.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Did we run out, boys? Did we run out of the goodie bag?
Are we changing our options?
Yeah.
Like, are we giving cookies out at first base?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Grandma's home cooked cookies? Home baked?
Zeroni took off for second, and Clement swinging at the first pitch. And he puts it into the Gulls bullpen for strike 1.
Very similar to what we saw back in the first inning with Jackson Clement, as he flew out to, well, Mr. Logan Grant in left field, just in the foul territory, and Grant got underneath his pop-up.
Clement drives this down to second base. That's Thomas Collins up with it over to first. And the inning is over. The Gulls, however, do not get a run across the plate. They leave 2 men on and no runs on no hits. As I mentioned, 2 men left on base. We are headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still tied at 1. Bottom of the 3rd inning here at Gulls Field, Pagato Park. 1-1 is the score. Both teams picking up a run in their half of the 1st inning. This is the catcher Nick Chavez stepping in to face Josh Tucker, and he is greeted with a fastball up around 87 for strike 1. Catches the inside corner there, gets the call. Chavez, as a catcher, saying, hey, okay, am my pitcher going to get that call too? Let's see. Just file it in the back there, you know. I'll bring it up later. 0-2 the count now on Chavez. And Tucker misses with that one outside. 1-2 now.
4 other games are just about to get underway in the league. Brooks hosting Weyburn tonight. The Fort McMurray Giants are in Edmonton, wrapping up their road trip that they were just on. Regina Red Sox down in Medicine Hat, and another tip ball there. And the Lethbridge Bulls are in Moose Jaw tonight to take on the Miller Express.
There we go.
So technically 6 full games going on a Tuesday night in the league.
And if you haven't been to a WCBL game, doesn't matter. Sylvan, Lethbridge, Edmonton, Okotoks, any of the teams in Saskatchewan, Medicine Hat as well, you know, check them out because the talent, you will be impressed.
Yep.
I guarantee you will be impressed. These guys make all the plays. That's grounded into the gap there. And first, Matty Fung gets a glove on it, but he can't corral it. And that just slides out into right field harmlessly, but Nick Chavez leads things off with a single to right field, and that brings up the top of the order. That is the center fielder, Justin Barnes.
Yeah, and that's not easy, running left, being a left-handed, well, it'd be more difficult, I guess, with a right-handed glove, but yeah, he had to kind of awkwardly have his hand wrapped around and couldn't quite grab it off the turf.
You don't see an awful lot of infielders as left-handers.
No.
Except for first base. And you really don't see a lot of left-handed catchers at any level. Barnes takes that first pitch for a strike from Tucker. I used to play, when I played, we had a third baseman who was left-handed.
Oh, okay.
So it was interesting seeing him field the ball and then having to square and then throw down to first base or second. He had to shift his whole body, so it was kind of difficult, but he made it work.
Yeah, how do you do that?
He was good. He made it work. Outfield, you can be pretty much any. But that infield, I think that seems to be the way it goes, in my mind at least. There's a lot of things in my mind that don't make sense, but and a strikeout pair for Justin Barnes, who score the first run of the game for the Swift Current 57's, but he's not scoring on that one.
Now batting the shortstop, number 2, Tejon Smith.
Tejon Smith steps in to face Josh Tucker, and that's his third strike, and our K-man has been busy.
Yeah, both pitchers settling in this game as well. As we saw in the first inning, it was a little sketchy for, well, both. We saw a hit by pitch with Justin Barnes in the first, and then a wild pitch on Tejon Smith. And then for the Swift Current 57's in Graydon Stauffer, he had a couple, well, he had one wild pitch and walked a couple guys already. So since then, they've settled things down on the mound.
0-1 the count right now to the 57's shortstop, Tejon Smith, and he kind of steps out of the box almost to try and get around on that one. It was kind of like, I'm committed to swing, but this is going to be awkward. And he was committed to swing there. So 0-2 the count now on Smith, who walked back in the first inning. He gets that one in on the hands and fouls it into the Swift Current bullpen, where there is no action. It's still early. Not sure how they're going to work that. With seven innings, how long do you let your starter go, or do you try and fill it in with the bullpen?
Maybe a complete game.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're playing well enough, why not?
And another one inside on the fist, and he fouls that one off to stay alive.
Well, and just taking a look at the Sylvan Lake Gulls schedule too this week, I mean, you got a game every day all the way up until Saturday. So maybe if Josh Tucker's, providing you solid pitching, you try to get him in for the full game and then get a new pitcher for the next game. Because come tomorrow and the next few days, you're going to have to rotate your pitchers quite often.
Misses high with that one. 1-2 the count. One down. Catcher Nick Chavez is the base runner over at first. Tucker delivers outside for ball 2.
Also, Jim, young coaching staff on this Swift Current 57's team, by the way.
Young compared to who?
Well,
compared to me, they're all young.
Yeah.
Let's lift it out into center field there. And Zeroni puts that away for the second out. So compared to who?
I would say compared to even Jason Chatwood a little bit. A little younger than him. And Jason Chatwood's a young man.
He is.
But these guys, I think, are in their, I want to say, late 20s.
Okay. That's
yeah,
good.
that's a probably good estimate. I would just state there, maybe early 30s.
Those are, that's the type of investment that sports needs, is guys that probably aren't far removed from the game and want to stay in the game and stay involved and can help out and guide these guys along. And a swing and a miss there by Collins. This is the second baseman, Thomas Collins.
Well, and if you can remember from last season, Jake Lanferman, he is now a coach up in Edmonton.
That's right.
And I think he's with the Riverhawks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's a batting coach for them, and I think he's coaching the Edmonton College
and the
team.
Edmonton College team, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool to see, and he's only 25.
Oh, and that pitch is just inside a little too much. 2-1 the count now, I believe, on Thomas Collins. That is grounded foul, 1-2. I guess I was wrong. I thought that was the second ball. Wrong again for the first time in my life. We are tied at 1 here in the bottom of the third inning. That's right. The home team is the Swift Current 57's tonight in this first game of the Twin Bill. And Collins takes a swing at that one. Prediger blocks it, up with it, and makes the play over to first base. So no runs on the one base hit. And one man left on. But after 3 complete, we are still tied at 1. Top of 4 here in this 7-inning game. Keep that in mind as well. We are in a doubleheader, making up for a rainout game and with Swift Current. So we're going to play 2 7-inning games. So we're just about halfway through the first one.
Sure quick, isn't it? Hey, feels weird.
Okay, now you've gone and done it.
Yeah, yeah. You were trying to hold off on saying it.
I was.
But I'm the guy that's going to say it.
Oh, well.
There you go.
You're a brave man.
I know.
Tyler McWillie will lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning. He grounded out to short last time. And takes that first pitch from Stauffer in for a strike. I'm waiting for this young man to break out in a big way. A little off-speed pitch there. Misses outside. 1-1 the count now on McWillie, leading things off. And he takes a swing at that one right to Tajon Smith. Flips it over across the diamond. And that is the first out of the inning. Bringing up the second baseman, Matty Fung.
Yeah, 2 straight groundouts for Tyler McWillie. Still just not quite finding the sweet spot on the bat, unfortunately.
Fung grounded out to the pitcher. It was just a little one hopper back to the pitcher. Not a really solid hit there. Takes that first pitch for a strike.
And if I'm not mistaken, that was the first pitch, first swing for Matty Fung, and he grounded right to the pitcher. So that one was right down the middle, and he let that one go by.
I believe you're right. And this could just drop in front of Logan Grant. Nope, he was playing it just right. Moves over to his left and makes the play for his 4th out of the game right now, Logan Wright.
Wow.
Or Logan Grant.
Yep.
Jack Shark will step in now to face Graydon Stauffer. Struck out back in the top of the 2nd inning. We are in the top of the 4th, tied at 1. Swift Current and your Sylvan Lake Gulls.
Now batting for the Gulls, the third baseman, number 14, Jack Sharp.
He takes that first pitch on the corner for a strike. 85 miles an hour from Graydon Stauffer. And misses inside with that one. 1-1 the count now. I don't see any threatening clouds right now.
Yeah, maybe just that
That's
tiny
so
little one,
nice.
but
That's
yeah,
so good.
that is pretty good.
That is grounded to third to Stockton. He knocks it down and makes a strong throw across the diamond. What a play there by Logan Stockton. I was telling you before that these guys make the plays. There's an example of that. Logan Stockton making a great play on third. And I've said this before. Go to a ball diamond, a full-length ball diamond. Go stand at third base and see how long that throw is.
And to bobble it like he did too, he had a good 2-second count of bobbling the ball before he could get it off to the first base, and he still beat the runner, and that is something else. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Swift Current 57's still tied at 1 apiece as we head in to the bottom of the 4th inning next, right here on Home Team Live.
Top of the fourth inning here at Gulls Field at Pagato Park. The home team, the Swift Current 57's, come to bat. This is the designated hitter, Matthew Ward, followed by the left fielder, Logan Grant, and the right fielder, Hayden Cooper. Josh Tucker still on the mound for the Gulls. He's had 4 strikeouts in this game to this point. 4 strikeouts in 3 innings of work. And he's quickly ahead of Ward on this one, 0-2 now, the count. Yeah. And another strikeout goes up on the fence there. As, Josh Fawcett goes over, holds the K up and goes, yep, we're going to put another one up there, boys.
Now a guy that's been busy in the outfield tonight will step up to the plate. He struck out back in the first inning and looking to do some damage against his former team, Logan Grant. Bottom of the fourth inning.
And a big cut at that one for the first strike of this at bat.
Yeah,
I'm sure he comes to town and he probably wants to do well.
I was just going to say, I bet he's just wanting to put on a show, and if anything, if he could clear the fence, I'm sure he would be pretty pumped about that back in his former hometown and former team, I guess, for the season.
And he lifts this into left field. Chase Rodriguez takes it on one hop, and there's a base hit for Logan Grant.
Yeah, he's pretty happy with that as he's exchanging some words with his former teammate Clary Simpson. A couple smiles there.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were teammates, so you know. And both those young men have personalities where you can't help but like them. So.
Yeah.
This is Hayden Cooper, the right fielder. And he watches that first pitch go in low for ball one from Josh Tucker. 53 pitches to this point for Tucker. And he fouls that back. 1-1, which is the score right now, 1-1.
Hey.
Simbi, there you go. It was balanced, the feng shui. There's 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. The score is 1-1. You know, there's a lot of ones up there if you believe in numerology. And there's a takeoff to first by Logan Grant. I guess that's a stolen base. It did fall down on the ground there, and Prediger didn't have a chance to even make a throw. But 2-1 to count now on the batter, Hayden Cooper.
Yeah, and they also checked with first base umpire Jared Greenberg and said that he came around on that swing, on that check swing.
And he certainly came around on that one. So that was actually 2-2 the strike.
Yeah,
and that's the third strike. So another strikeout there for Josh Tucker. That's 6 on the evening so far. Brady Alexander, the first baseman, comes over. Josh Tucker settled right in now. He had that first inning where the first man got on by being hit by a pitch, and he has just mowed them down since then. Basically giving up only the 1 base hit. No, he's got a couple of base hits, sorry. But 6 strikeouts.
Yeah, 53 on the year now for Josh Tucker.
On a check swing foul ball there from Alexander, the 57's first baseman. Count now 1-1. 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. We are knotted up at 1 each in the first game of a twin bill between Sylvan Lake and Swift Current.
And all of a sudden that cloud goes behind, or that sun goes behind a cloud, and it really cools off.
Actually feels good, to be honest. 1-2 the count there, and a big swing and a miss by Alexander. I'm not so much the heat, but every time I look over to see where my lineups and whatnot, I'm staring right into the sun. So this is a selfish thing for me. Stay behind the
blinding.
clouds.
It's not blinding for Jim.
A little off speed there. Kind of a weird delivery there by Josh Tucker too. He almost like he fell off the mound. 2-2 the count now. With 2 down here, a runner over at second base is Logan Grant. And Tucker misses inside with that one. The count now full. Third baseman Logan Stockton, who made that outstanding play to end the top of the 4th inning, is on deck. And he will come to bat now as Alexander draws a walk. So runners on first and second now for the 57's third baseman, who popped up to Ben Prediger behind the plate here back in the 2nd inning.
Number 24, Logan Stockton.
And that was unfortunate for Josh Tucker, because he was up on the count 1-2, and then he throws 3 straight balls to walk Brody Alexander.
And a big cut there by Stockton. He's trying to hit that into the slow pitch diamond. 90-mile-an-hour fastball there. So if he was guessing fastball, he got his pitch, but couldn't catch up to it. Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Not sure where that missed, but again, I'm going to say low.
Looked good from up here.
Well, yeah. Of course, our eyesight. Well, I can only speak for myself.
I have 20/20 vision, okay?
I've got 20/20 hindsight. This is fouled out of play onto the berm, and a couple of young fans made a run for it. One of them got it.
And now it's keep away from
Yeah,
everybody else
and
that's
now
trying to get it from you.
Not sure if that's older sister or mom. She's coming over to make sure somebody didn't get angry that they didn't get the ball. Or maybe she wants the ball.
Yeah.
Must be an older sister.
Yeah.
Only an older sister would do that. Here, I'll give you this rubber one for the real ball. Not going for that deal. 2-2 the count right now on Logan Stockton. Runners on first and second, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning, tied at 1 between the Gulls and the 57's. Oh, and he got the call on that one. Another strikeout for Josh Tucker. That closes out the inning. No runs on no hits. 2 men left on base. And after 4 complete, we are still tied at 1 with the Gulls coming to bat.
All right, time for a quick update on your Vesta Energy 50/50 jackpot. We are currently sitting at $1,410, and that pot is going to continue to grow over the next several innings. As I mentioned earlier, we're going to carry this over into game number 2, so you want to make sure you get your tickets in for that jackpot. We're going to push it up to $1,500, then to $2,000. We want somebody walking home with a pocket full of change tonight. And of course, those proceeds also going towards the Gulls Give Foundation. So find any one of our volunteers walking around here tonight. They will help you out, get you in on that Vesta Energy 50/50 jackpot.
Graydon Stauffer still on the mound for Swift Current. Other than that first inning where he had to give up a walk and a wild pitch and a double, he's settled right down and is all business right now for the Swift Current 57's. He'll face the catcher, Ben Prediger, left fielder Chase Rodriguez, and shortstop Mike Polson in this inning. And Prediger lifts this out into shallow right. And that's Hayden Cooper making the catch out in right field.
I think I got a good name for Ben Prediger.
Oh, do you?
Pink Bat Prediger.
Well, he's had a bunch of kids that he was doing a clinic with. And he's I think he's in the education field, or wants to be. And they always called him Mr. Predator.
Predator, yeah, okay. Yeah.
But Pink Bat,
Pink Bat Prediger.
run that by him.
It's got a
It's
just
the
a little ring to
alliteration.
it. It's, yeah, exactly.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Somewhat alliteration.
Yeah.
Chase Rodriguez steps in, and again, here's another player that we've heard plenty about, even from his dad. And I know his dad might be biased, but his dad was pretty straightforward too. Is that this kid's got talent, and he just needs to find it right now. He's had streaks, and he rips this one right down to first base. Brady Alexander takes it and flips it to Stauffer over at first, and the Gulls are down 2 now. Top of the order, Mike Polson. Base on balls in the 3rd inning and struck out back in the 1st. Tied at 1 here in the top of the 5th inning.
Here's the shortstop, number 10, Mike Holston.
And a swing and a miss there for Polson. A little off-speed pitch from Stauffer. Cleary Simpson is the batter on deck. He's the Gull who scored the only run for them tonight. And takes that pitch. Now in a hole, 0-2. Strikeout to end the inning as Graydon Stauffer has just come in and just shut the door on the Sylvan Lake Gulls, and his teammates recognize that. They come out to give him the high fives or the low fives, the fist bumps, whatever is cool now, what the cool kids do, right?
Yeah, yeah. That's three ups and 3 downs for that pitcher right now, and he's definitely settled himself into this game and starting to feel it. And it's a tie game right now here at Gulls Field in Sylvan Lake between the 57's and the Gulls. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th next.
Gulls pitcher Josh Tucker still on the mound. And I guess the fact that he's got 7 strikeouts is understandable. Why would you take him out, right?
Yeah, when he's hot, he's hot. Leave him in there.
This is the catcher Nick Chavez stepping in to face him. Takes that first pitch and fouls it out of play.
I'm noticing this with both teams, really. Both pitchers start to heat up as the game goes along. So that's what you kind of hope to see when you're in a shorter game with the 7-inning doubleheader.
You know, and plus the fact that as a pitcher, you probably enjoy the fact that it's a short inning because you stay warm.
Yeah.
Because there is a little coolness to the air.
There really is, yeah. The wind is picking up a little bit here at Gulls Field, and it's coming from the west too, by just the feels of it, and west to east winds. So definitely anything being popped up to right field right now is going to be held by that wind.
Mighty swing at that one from Nick Chavez, but he did not make contact. 2-2 the count right now on the Swift Current catcher. Top of the order, Justin Barnes is waiting in the on-deck circle, or the on-deck area, as there is no actual circle. And another strikeout for Josh Tucker. He is delivering tonight. He just needs some run support.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's, you know, this is not the first time we've been saying this year, Jim. Here at home, it's just kind of been the storyline at Gulls Field to start 2022. Is there is what 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 Ks up on the wall there. So that goes to show right there that this man's doing the job. But like you said, they need the offense to support it.
He misses low with that one to Justin Barnes, the center fielder for Swift Current. He was hit by a pitch in the first, struck out in the third, and is up 1-0 on Tucker right now. 2-0 the count now. Tejon Smith, the shortstop, is on deck. That is fisted down to Matty Fung over a second. He scoops it over to Cleary Simpson. And we are 2 down now here in the top or bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, it's hard to remember of what if we're at the top or the bottom, but just another reminder, if you're just tuning in right now, Home Team Live, that the Sylvan Lake Gulls and the Swift Current 57's, this game is the makeup game thanks to the rain that poured in Saskatchewan back on June 15th. So Swift Current is currently the home team for this first game, and then the next game will follow right away here at 8:05. You can catch all the action on Home Team Live with Jim and myself. Kale will bring you the call yet again.
Oh, good. You know, Ben Prediger is really good with his glove of framing a pitch. That was just enough off the plate that he just had to move it slightly. And of course, Josh Tucker's been around the plate all night anyway.
Well, yeah,
so
you got to kind of give him credit for what he's been doing, obviously. Yeah, he's not had too many that got away from him.
No. And Tucker misses outside with that off-speed pitch. Tejon Smith, the batter. 2 down here, nobody on base. We are tied at 1. Both teams getting their runs way back in the first inning. And another, didn't hold on to that one.
Dropped it, yeah. Otherwise, that would have been.
Well, it was a tip, I think.
Yeah, it was a tip.
Yeah. And he did drop it, too.
Yeah.
So let's be, 1-2 the count now on Smith, or still. He lifts this one out into deep right field, but Jackson Clement is playing him just perfectly. Settles underneath it and brings the inning to a close. No runs on no hits, nobody left on base. And after 5 complete, we are tied at 1 with Sylvan Lake coming to bat. Who's batting for them? Cleary Simpson, Caden Zeroni, and the man who just made the catch there, Jackson Clement. Jones whips that into the short center field, and that is going to score Jack Wheatley. And the Sylvan Lake Gulls take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Going to score another run, and 2, as Rager and Fraley both coming to score. Mitchum with a base hit, that'll cash in Cooper Jones from third.
thanks to Eagle Builders, their staff, their trades. What a beautiful stadium. How many of you are at your very first Sylvan Lake Gulls game tonight? How about that? And 2 for the price of 1. Second game starts 30 minutes after the end of this one. How many of you have been to 1 or more games here at the Eagle Builders Gulls Field? Make some noise.
Top of the 6th inning here in Sylvan Lake, Alberta, as the Gulls and the 57's continue to battle it out in the first of this doubleheader on your Tuesday evening. Glad to have you tune in Home Team Live, by the way. Cale Clark with you and Jim Claggett, as that pitch is catching the outside corner on Cleary Simpson, where he was the man that scored the first run and only run for the Sylvan Lake Gulls so far up to this point, back in the first inning, getting on base with the walk. And that one is a little low and into the turf for a ball. 1-1 now the count to Cleary Simpson. And not much action in either bullpen either. A little bit now in the 57's bullpen, but I'm wondering if they're just throwing to keep warm, as that one is well outside, but at least it looked a little bit outside, but they called it a strike on Cleary Simpson. So.
Home plate umpire Marcel Bruce. Jared Greenberg over at first, and Brad Johnson is patrolling third base left field line. And Simpson drops this one in front of Justin Barnes out in center field to lead things off here in the top of the 6th inning with a single.
Yeah, nice little swing on that one, and gets a gummy there from first base. So the gummies are back.
Maybe it's for a hit.
Maybe. That could be it.
So there hasn't been a whole lot of gummies handed out in this game.
At least I think that was a gummy handoff. I don't know. Just from up here, I didn't look closely on the zoomed-in camera here on our screen in the broadcast booth, but looked like the first base coach gave him something.
That's only the second hit of the game for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. So there's definitely been a bit of a drought as far as the bats are concerned.
Yeah.
Caden Zeroni steps in and takes that first pitch for a strike. Jackson Clement is the on-deck batter. Tyler McWillie is waiting patiently to get his chance again. And Zeroni squared to bunt, but I don't know if he was serious about that. Might have been.
Yeah.
1-1 game. Why not? Try and manufacture a run. Move a guy into scoring position.
And you also kind of freeze maybe number 24, Logan Stockton, over at third to think that maybe it's coming short. So he's going to pinch in a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And Zeroni knew right away he should have swung at that one. He saw it go by, and he was not happy with himself. That was a really nice pitch down the middle for him to have a good swing at. But he's already so far 2 for 2 for making it on base. The back in the first with the double, the RBI double, and then the hit by pitch in the third.
Oh, and he takes a good cut at that one. They're going to throw down to second. Not sure why Nick Chavez decided that was the play.
Oh, they're calling him out, actually, in Caden Zeroni. So Zeroni couldn't advance over to first, and they called him out right away. So
because the first base was occupied.
Yeah.
Yep. That makes sense. But Cleary Simpson gets to stay over at second base with the stolen base, I guess. Jackson Clement steps in to face Stauffer, who has continued to just baffle the Sylvan Lake Gulls hitters. And he's not overpowering them. I think he's hit the 87, 88 on the gun, which, as we said, is not 100% accurate. But it gives you a relatively good idea, I think.
But he's doing a good job. He's placing the ball in tough spots for the Gulls to get much wood on the ball. And that's caused a lot of ground outs and quite a few pop flies as well. So he's only got 4 strikeouts on the game so far, from what I can count.
Just a lot of soft contact, and
yes,
that's keeping the hitters off balance all night. And Clement was interested in that pitch.
wanted to swing at it.
2-1 to count now. Cleary Simpson, the base runner, over at second. We are in the top of the 6th inning, tied at 1. Sylvan Lake and Swift Current. In the front half of a twin bill between these two teams. 7 innings is all we're going to play in both those games. Unless unless they go to extra innings. I mean, we did start an hour earlier than normal tonight at 6 o'clock instead of 7. So if they want to play 9, they can play 9, I guess. I'm not going to complain. And Clement rips this into the gap in right field. That is going to bring a run in as Cleary Simpson rounds third and easily scores on that base hit by Jackson Clement.
That doesn't look good. Cleary Simpson,
Step on the bat.
he came halfway. No, he was halfway from third to home plate, and he pulled something. It's not looking good. He's limping hard, as you can tell. He was in mid-stride on that run, and all of a sudden, yeah, he's pointing to the back on his hamstring. So that's not good, and that's not what you want to see from Cleary Simpson.
He's going to go pay a little visit to
Yeah.
Rob Mankin. There they are right
Yeah,
there.
there he is. He knows
Rob
right
saying,
away.
okay, this is what I did.
Yeah, and you could tell. I could tell as soon as he got halfway, it popped right halfway between third and home there. It didn't look good.
No.
He instantly went into limp mode.
I
So we'll
believe
keep
we're
our
gonna-
eye on that.
Yeah, we're probably going to see a substitution here for Cleary Simpson. I hope we don't, which means he'd be okay, but be prepared for that. And Tyler McWillie puts a charge into this one. Logan Grant can only watch that go goodbye. Home run number 4 on the year for the big man from Watrous, Saskatchewan. And he just, oh, there, the jinx is over, buddy. I'm telling you. A 2-run shot for Tyler McWillie here in the top of the 6th inning. And that was a no-doubter. Logan Grant took one step, turned around, and watched it sail over his head. Helpless feeling for sure. As Ty McWillie says, yeah, I got that one.
And
He
that-
got his pitch, and he got all the lumber on it.
Absolutely, and that's going to cause the coach, Ray, coming out to have a chat with his pitcher, and they're going to start, and I think that's going to do it actually too for his night. So, you know, 2 singles and a home run, 2-run shot, that will, end the night for Mr. Graydon Stauffer. And we'll keep our eye on who's coming in here. But Stauffer, too, is,
did
you
a
know,
good
his
job.
credit, he did a great job, I think, up until this inning. Just things started to fall apart a little bit, and coach said he had enough, seeing that a little bit, I guess, and time to bring in someone new. So
And that's, here it is, as a coach, you're watching your guy and you're saying, okay, what have I seen for the first 5 innings?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen, 4 strikeouts and a lot of soft contact and nothing hit really, really hard other than Caden Zeroni's double back in the first inning. I'll leave him in. It's only a 7-inning game. Then all of a sudden, there's a single, then another single, then a home run.
yeah,
Wow. Just like that. 3 out of the 4 guys come up and hit. So we will take a little break here and be right back for the rest of the top of the 6th inning. Gulls with a 4-1 lead now over Swift Current. New pitcher in for the Swift Current 57's. This is number 26, Zach Laird, taking over from Graydon Stauffer. He lasted 5 1/3 innings, had 4 strikeouts, and he gave up the 4 runs.
Yeah, and things are just starting to open up a little bit for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. As you know, it was Cleary Simpson that got things started there in the top of the 6th inning, and then unfortunately for Cleary Simpson, when he was running home, still getting worked out on that table over there. So we'll keep our eye on him. But after that, Zeroni strike out, and then Jackson Clement comes in with that RBI single, and Tyler McWillie sends him home.
You know, if anybody can get Cleary Simpson back in the game, it's Rob Banka from Collegiate Sports
That's
Medicine.
True. Yeah. Some may call him the magician.
I bet you they do.
The magic hands, maybe.
I'll bet you he does. I know for a fact. He fixed my back one day when I was working radio. They had me on the table, on the air, as he was working. It was physiotherapist's week or something along those lines. Anyways, he was in to talk about things that they do, and my back was giving me some issues. He goes, "Well, hop up on the table here." We're like, "Now?" He goes, "Yeah." So it worked.
Oh, wow.
Whatever he did, I was back golfing that day. And a strikeout there by Matty Fung. First of the inning, obviously, for Zach Laird, who just came in and makes his appearance known by striking out Matty Fung. That brings up the third baseman, Jack Shark.
The third baseman, number 14, Jack Shark.
4-1 Gulls lead it here in the top of the 6th inning. They are the visitors in this game. And Shark takes that pitch outside from the left-hander.
Yeah, Zach Laird, he's got an arm too. He's throwing close to 90-mile-per-hour pitches right now.
Takes a little off of that one. 1-1 to count now to Shark. He was 0 for 2 on the night, a strikeout and a ground out to third base, which was an absolutely outstanding play by Logan Stockton. A hard hit ball by Shark that he knocked down and made the long throw from third base over to first to get Shark in time. And Shark's not exactly slow either. Interesting that Zach Laird is pitching out of the stretch here with nobody on base. But some pitchers are like that. Yeah. They like that feel. They like that movement. It's a comfort zone for them. I'm not sure if he's looking over there, but he's not holding anybody on. 2-2 the count on Shark as he fouls that down the right field line.
Yeah, Shark doing a really good job of staying alive right now. Zach Laird maybe showed a little bit of frustration on that last pitch, wondering how he's still in the batter's box. Just looking for one more.
And a big cut by Shark on that pitch, but 2 batters faced by Zach Laird, and he struck both of them out to end the inning. But the damage done as the Gulls plate 3 runs. The big shot, a 2-run homer by Tyler McWillie. We will head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Gulls with a 3-run lead, and Josh Tucker still on the mound.
We've got sunglasses, we got frisbees and water bottles, a little something for you to take home. Remember your night here at Gulls Field at Hogallo Park. We got one left. Who wants it? There it is. Nicely done. And just a reminder, folks, we are coming up on that 7th inning. And as Joe's mentioned earlier, we're going to have a half-hour break in between the games, and then we're right back into game number 2 for the price of 1 here at Gulls Field. I got this dancing bird here. No droppings yet. All right, but we got more to give away tonight. It's a very exclusive night here at the ballpark. Haven't done this before. We're glad you're here. And how about a little bit of rallying cry for the boys who are doing well for us tonight? How about a little go, Gulls, go! Go, Gulls, go!
Bottom of 6 here at Gulls Field at Pagatle Park. Josh Tucker on the mound still for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Nobody working in the Gulls bullpen right now.
Nope.
So this might be his game. You got 6 outs to get, Mr. Tucker. That's probably the instructions. Get them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple as that.
I mean, you outlasted the other guy now. Now it's just time to bear down and see what he can do, as that is driven hard to Fung, but he gets in the way of it, makes the play over to the substitution over at first base in number 31, Noah Hall. If I am not mistaken. No, sorry, 31 is not Noah Hall. 31 is Zach Griffin. I get those two mixed up sometimes with the 30s, but
Well, you also have to remember that was Swift. That was batting. You're talking the batter?
no, I'm talking about the play over at first.
Okay,
First base
I'm
there.
thinking you were talking about the batter.
No.
No.
Nope.
But that is, you're right. The Cleary Simpson obviously can't make it back into the game, so you got. Have we decided it's Zach Griffin?
It's
over
Zach
there?
Griffin. Yep. Yep.
Sorry, I thought you were talking about the batter.
Oh,
I'm
no.
thinking, no.
Maybe I should have clarified a little bit more.
Well,
but the play being thrown over to the new first baseman there, Zach Griffin.
There you go.
That was a good play by Matty Funk, too, to get in front of that.
This is grounded to Shark over at third. He's up with it, and just like that, 2 up and 2 down for the 57's. Was that 3 pitches for Josh Tucker this inning? He's sitting at 87 pitches for the game right now, so which is probably just out, close to the where you want to go with these guys, because as we always tell you, they are playing for other teams or another team in the fall, and their coaches don't want them blowing an arm out playing summer ball.
Yeah, overdoing it.
And Tucker has got Logan Grant chasing one outside there for strike 1. 4-1, Gulls lead it here in the bottom of the 6th inning. The first game of our doubleheader here, 7-inning games.
And something that you don't see every day here at Gulls Field, but some seagulls flying over the field right now. What does that maybe symbolize?
Well, if you remember the home opener
Yep.
2 years ago, the very first game that this team played, when they finished, a bunch of seagulls flew over the stadium.
Do you remember
It
that?
was like
That was
right
pretty
on
cool.
cue, and I thought, my goodness, who has the pull to do that? Apparently Graham or Jen Schetzel. I'm going with Jen. Shark up with it, and across the diamond. Griffin makes the grab, and 3 up, 3 down for the 57's. We will head to the top of the 7th with Sylvan Lake holding on to that 4-1 lead. Zach Laird still on the mound for the Swift Current 57's. He took over from Graydon Stauffer in the 6th inning. And he promptly struck out the 2 men that he faced and ended the inning. But the damage had already been done by Tyler McWillie with a 2-run homer.
And I'm just going to say this right now. In the break there, Nick Chavez took and you pointed out too, Jim, that Nick Chavez, the catcher, took a bouncer and it was a hard thrown ball right off the hand.
Yeah.
And he's literally looking at his, he's been
still
looking at
checking
his
it,
hand ever since. And then he just went up to the mound with the umpire to tell him, hey, my hand hurts.
Yeah, I'm walking this ball out.
Yeah.
Now that might be something, that might be something that the Gulls, if they get a base runner, maybe look at stealing the base, because he might not be able to grip the ball hard enough to throw it down to second base. So
yeah, he did throw pretty decent after, but not,
Predator says, wow, here's their base runner.
There you go.
As he rips this right back from where it came from. And that starts things off for the Gulls here in the top of the 7th inning. Now, I didn't see, did Ben get his gummy?
I don't know.
Maybe
I
not.
didn't see it.
Maybe he didn't want one.
He's got gum in his mouth, maybe, that's why.
Yeah, I don't know what the snack is with these guys. It used to be sunflower seeds, and of course in the majors, and a lot of those guys still do the chewing tobacco. I don't understand that one, but some of these kids might do it. I don't know. Is that a thing? Good bunt there by Chase Rodriguez, and he beat it out. He hustled down first base, and Logan Stockton is thinking, man, that was a good throw. But it was an even better bunt because it just took its time getting to Stockton over at third base. Chase Rodriguez making the hustle all the way down, and that moves Prediger over to first, or second, I should say, and Rodriguez. So the first 2 guys up facing Zach Laird. The last 2 guys up in the 6th struck out. The first 2 guys get base hits.
Yeah, they got him.
There you go.
Figured out, and the bats, like I said, starting to see a little bit of rhythm here from the Silver Lake Gulls.
Maybe it's the start of something for this team. They haven't had a breakout, at least not at home.
No. Now the real test is the next game. How are they going to be, coming to that one and swinging the bats against the same team?
And Polson squares the bunt too, and I think I said earlier that watching Fort McMurray with 4 perfect bunts, that maybe this is something that the Gulls are saying, well, you know what, we can do the same thing. Let's just get it in play.
Playing a trick out of their, using a trick out of their playbook there.
He squares the bunt, and that hits Chavez in the shin guard, but it stays close enough to him that nobody was going to advance. 2-0 the count now on Polson. And Polson watches that catch the corner for the first strike of his at bat here in the top of the 7th inning. And he squares the bunt again. I don't think he was serious about bunting, but that hit the dirt. The count now 3-1 on Polson.
Yep, taking a look at Jason Chatwood over at third, getting the signal from him. And we'll see if he now takes a good full swing at this one. Being down 3-1, or being, I guess, up 3-1 in the count.
3-1, yeah. And if the guy's throwing balls like that in the dirt, then maybe he'll just take the free pass.
Yep.
And he rips that down to first. Could be a double play. Yes. Good play there by Brady Alexander, the first baseman, as Chase Chavez was going on contact there, and he left the bag. I think the coaching tactic there is always line drive, you make sure it goes out.
Yeah.
Make sure it goes through the infield. But he got caught on that one. And Polson with the line up to first base, and then Rodriguez gets put out by the first baseman Alexander by himself. So Prediger still over at second. And this is Zach Griffin, who has come in to play first base after Cleary Simpson appeared to have injured himself running home in the previous inning after he stole a base to second and got driven in by Jackson Clement for the go-ahead run.
Yeah, I'm just watching Cleary Simpson right now at the bench, and he's walking around and he's got a slight limp, nothing crazy, but definitely something not right with one of his legs.
And Laird misses outside with that one. 2-0 to Griffin now. 4-1, Gulls lead it here in the top of the 7th. This is the last inning unless Swift Current comes back in the bottom of the 7th and ties things up. But we're only playing the 7 innings in these double headers. This is the first half of that twin bill. And a good rip there by Griffin. But an equally good pitch by Zach Laird. It's Zach against Zach. The Zach attack.
The Zach threat. The double threat, yeah.
I'll just leave it right there.
We could go on all night, I think, if we really wanted to.
We don't have to. He fouls that back. Even to count at 2-2. 3 runs in this top of the, or 3 runs, I should say, on the top of the 6th inning for the Gulls. That's what's done the damage. That's the difference in this game right now. A 2-run shot by Tyler McWillie, a no-doubter that cleared the left field fence by an awful lot. That comes inside, does Laird. He misses with that pitch. Full count now on the Gulls' first baseman, Zach Griffin.
And the 57's they have someone warming up right now in the bullpen, but so far for the Sylvan Lake Gulls, nothing really going on in the bullpen for them, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do see Josh Tucker finish this one out.
I hope we do. He misses inside with that one. So draws a base on balls, and that brings up Caden Zeroni, who struck out back in the 6th inning, not against Zach Laird, but against Graydon Stauffer, the starter for the 57's.
Yeah, and I just got word it's going to be number 43 warming up just in case they need him. Dawson Schultz is in the bullpen for the Swift Current.
He might be coming in now.
Yeah, and you might see him right now.
I believe we are.
57's, yeah. Making a change, or at least just, maybe just having a chat right now,
maybe.
Settling things down.
A little conversation. Oh,
Nope.
no. that's definitely the end of that conversation. So we'll take a break while they warm up the pitcher. I shut my mic off.
I saw them, yeah.
Duh. I should wear a hat when I'm up here. The sun's getting to me.
Uh-oh, now the sun's blinding Jim again.
That's okay.
Oh, boy.
I'm going to go now.
All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back here on Home Team Live with the remaining of the top 7th when we come back.
Your pitcher now for the Swift Current 57's on the hill and about to warm up. Number 43, Dawson Schultz.
Hey folks, while we have a moment here, why don't we take this opportunity to bring out the Bat Boy. Hey Bat Boy, where are you at in there? Hey, come on out, Bat Boy. Give us a tip of the cap. Come on out, don't be shy. I can see you, I'm on the dugout. I'm up here. I can see you can't hide from me. Come on out. How about a little encouragement, folks? There he is. We appreciate you, our TV Bobcat Bat Boy. Thanks for all that you do. Don't be shy.
Top of the 7th continues here at Gulls Field between the 57's and the Gulls, as we have Caden Zeroni at the plate facing the new pitcher, and that's number 43, Dawson Schultz. That's going to take over from Zach Laird. And Laird started out really good with 2 straight strikeouts when he came in, but unfortunately after that, 2 straight batters getting on base. And now they had to make a change. So first pitch outside for a ball on Dawson Schultz.
And Zeroni takes a good rip at that one. Trying to drive in another run, a little more insurance. And it'll be interesting to see who comes out to start the bottom of the 7th. If Coach Chatwood is going to let Josh Tucker start the bottom of the 7th, or we got Logan Moser warming up in the bullpen right now.
Yeah.
So we're not sure. We'll see. Oh, and he missed with that one. I'm not sure where that missed though. But Dawson Schultz thought he had himself a strike there. 2-1 to count on Caden Zeroni. A hard hit double back in the first inning. And then he was hit by a pitch in the 3rd and struck out back in the 6th. And that is high and inside. 3-1 to count now. 2 men on. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. Gulls with a 4-1 edge over the visiting but home team, Swift Current 57's. And the count now full on the Gulls center fielder, Zeroni. I think I know who my player of the game is right now.
It's pretty, yeah.
You probably know.
I have a feeling.
We'll talk after the inning and see if you're right. Am I that predictable? And Zeroni draws a walk here. Moving everybody up 90 feet. That brings up Jackson Clement, who started things off in the 6th inning. This was the scoring by driving in Clary Simpson with a solid single out to right center field.
Now batting the right fielder, number 5, Jackson Clement.
And Clement had a great at bat back in the 6th as well, driving in Clary Simpson.
He takes a good swing at that. Bases loaded here in the top of the 7th inning. Gulls trying to add to that 4-1 lead, giving Josh Tucker a little more of a cushion. That gets away from Nick Chavez, but not far enough for anybody to consider trying to move up a base. Ben Prediger over at 3rd. Zach Griffin is over at 2nd, and Caden Zeroni, the base runner, at 1st. Jackson Clement, the right fielder, is the batter. And he watches that pitch from Zach Laird, or from Dawson Schultz, I should say, who has taken over from Zach Laird. That misses outside. 2-1 the count. And now the count 2-2 after that off-speed pitch has Jackson Clement way out in front. Oh, and he misses on that pitch.
That was close. That was a little too close for comfort to watch go by.
And all 3 runners will be going on this pitch. Full count here, 2 down here in the top of the 7th inning. Everybody's going to be on the move. And he walks in a run. And Chavez lost sight of the ball, but it didn't matter. Everybody, Prediger was coming in for sure. So that's the 5th run of the game now for the Sylvan Lake Gulls. Clement drawing the base on balls, and that brings up the man who crushed one. Like ball is still screaming after it cleared the left field fence. Tyler McWillie with a 2-run shot.
vehicles aren't very far from where he hit his home run too. So there's maybe one or two that might see a new dent when they get back to their vehicle tonight.
That's why I park far away.
Yeah. You and me both.
I call it the McWillie no zone. So even he's not going to hit it out this
fair.
far.
Yeah.
Although if there's a wind.
Yeah. Usually I park right beside you, knowing that if you're parking here, it's got to be a safe bet.
Yeah. My massive truck will protect you.
Yeah, there you go.
Little Ford Ranger.
Yeah, massive.
You got no protection. I'm
Massive.
sorry. Usually I try and find a big truck that's parked beside me or in front of me. And McWillie launches another one. This is a no-doubter as well. It's bouncing. Oh, it got 3 cars in that one.
Wow.
Tyler McWillie. Did we not say earlier we're waiting to see this guy break out?
We were. Yeah, we sure were.
Well, there you go.
How about that? Grand slam for Tyler McWillie. And the crowd is on their feet. How's that for a cushion, Josh Tucker?
Wow.
That was fun to watch.
Well, now that kind of messes up my snap fitness player of the game.
You better go change it quickly.
No, you know what? As
happy.
impressive as that is, oh boy.
I think, okay, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but that, I believe, could be the first Grand Slam we've ever seen in Gulls history at Pagato Park.
I don't know that I could dispute that. I don't know that I could. Matty Fung is at bat right now. The base is cleared, courtesy of the man from Watrous, Saskatchewan, Tyler McWillie.
Yeah, it's hard to follow something like that up.
Oh,
but
yeah. It's pretty quiet now. And Matty Fung drives this over to second base. That's goes through the wickets of Thomas Collins. You know, when things go bad, they go bad.
Well, and you know what? That's actually exactly what the coach said to me before this game for the 57's. Joey Jordans, he explained to me that when things to be going bad, and if Swift Current gets down, he said they usually never can fight their way back. He said their heads just don't, when they're just give in. He said they really give in. And
Yeah.
He said he doesn't see his team rally back. So you kind of, after seeing that definitely deflated the 57's. And unfortunately for them, they gotta get their heads back in it, because they got another game here coming up in just a matter of time.
Well, they also have another at bat.
Well, and another at bat, exactly. So
unless you mail it in, but this is Shark, as the Gulls will post 5 runs in this inning and now hold a 9-1 lead over Swift Current. Tyler McWillie doing more damage with his second home run of the game. I know he's going to be angry at me because I didn't pick him as the player of the game, but he goes, "What?
Yeah.
I got 2 home runs for you, man." Well, not for me.
This is where you tell them you're only one shy from last season in one game. We've seen you better. You could always come back at him with that, but a big inning for the Sylvan Lake Gulls with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs scored, making it now 9-1. Heading in the bottom of the 7th in this doubleheader, and Josh Tucker, he'll be staying in to play a complete game. We'll be back.
Now batting for the 57's, the right fielder, number 16, Hayden Cooper.
Hayden Cooper now at the plate for the Swift Current 57's. And a big comeback needed for Swift Current if they want to have any chance in game 1 of this 2-game night. And he drills that up the middle, and that will land for a base hit as it rolls right into the glove of Caden Zeroni. He'll throw it in, and Hayden Cooper will stay over at first. So I mean, you know, after that, you get on base right away with a single, and that's probably something that Coach Joey likes to see from his team, not, you know, mailing it in, as you'd say.
Yeah. Well, this brings up the first baseman, Brady Alexander. And we'll see how far Coach Chatwood has for a leash for Josh Tucker. I'm thinking if he gets, you know, 2 more guys on base, that'll be it for him. They don't want to, you know, do any damage, but there's over to Griffin. He steps on the bag as he bobbled that ball. Steps on the bag to record the out, though. And that brings up the third baseman, Logan Stockton, who was popped up to the catcher, Prediger, and struck out back in the 4th inning. So right now, Josh Tucker, 8 strikeouts, and he's given up 2 base hits and 1 run. That's a pretty good evening's work.
Yeah, absolutely.
95 pitches.
Yeah, and now bringing up his strikeout total to 86.
Nice.
Or sorry, 56. Sorry.
56.
Oh, what am I
That's
thinking?
still
86.
good. That's still pretty good.
56, yeah, strikeouts now on the year for him.
And a swing and a miss there for Logan Stockton. 1-1 the count now on Stockton. Hayden Cooper, the base runner, over at second base. 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. That is grounded to short. And Polson knocks it down, but can't get the handle on it. And that's a base hit for Stockton. I'm just watching to see. We got 2 base runners and 1 out. And the bottom of the order, Nick Chavez coming to bat, who's had a single back in the 3rd and a strikeout in the 5th. And the top of the order, Justin Barnes is on deck. And Tucker's leaning back to get just a little extra to finish off this inning. I think he wants this one, and I think they're going to give him every opportunity to complete the full 7 innings. And that's fouled back 0-2 the count now on Chavez. Who seems to be swinging the bat okay, even in spite of that injury to his right hand there when warming up before the last inning.
Good point, yeah.
And Tucker comes back and says, look, I'm not done yet. Don't count me out quite that fast.
Yeah.
Another strikeout. That's 9 on the night for Logan Tucker, or Josh Tucker.
Quite impressive, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he wants this one back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 there for this young man. After a run in the 1st inning, the first player he faced, he hits him. The guy comes around and scores a run, and he has shut this team down since then. 3 hits he's given up tonight. A little off speed there to start off Justin Barnes, who was that player that got hit by a pitch and then came around and scored the first run of the game for the Swift Current 57's. But since then, he's struck out and grounded out. And he sends this off the screen behind him. The count 1-1 now. 1 run in the top of the first for the Gulls, 3 more in the top of the 6th, and then a big 5 spot. The big blow, a grand slam from Tyler McWillie, whom you would think would be the snap. Oh. That's the ball hitting the bull in the Bull Durham movie.
There you go.
Pitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good thing that was
Just
called.
a little outside.
Yeah, time called just before you released it.
Okay. The count remains at 1-1, and Josh Tucker's going, "Yeah, that was probably my worst pitch of the night. I'm glad it didn't count." That is grounded back to Josh Tucker. He's going to end it himself. There you go. He says, I got this. 7 innings complete, 104 pitches. Gave up 1 run in the top of the bottom of the first inning, and just settled right back down with 9 strikeouts, 3 base hits. That pretty much does it right there, doesn't it?
It sure does. The Sylvan Lake Gulls really needed that game. And the Bats, too, finally starting to gain some traction here at home. And it really, nothing was happening for a while. We were thinking to ourselves, Jim, well, are we going to see another low-scoring game? Is the Bats going to, still be a little soft? But they weren't. 6th inning came around, and it was Clary Simpson got things started with that single. Unfortunately, couldn't finish out the game because he was trying to run home. But he started off with that single. Then he got Jackson Clem with the RBI single. And then after that, Tyler McWillie rode the momentum wave and got his first home run in a while. And then after that, a grand slam the very next inning. So the Sylvan Lake Gulls, a much-deserved win, and they're standing by with the player of the game, brought to you by Snap Fitness with Jared Waldo.
9 strikeouts, goes the complete game over 7. This is Josh Tucker. Our player of the game is selected by Jim Claggett and Cale Clark of our home team live broadcast crew. Tough call tonight, but your performance on the mound, just talk about what you saw. We saw all those Ks up there. Just talk about what you were seeing tonight.
Just finding my spot. I don't really know. Great job behind the plate by the catcher. He called a great game. So,
and it says a lot for you, and obviously honorable mention to your teammates. Tyler, obviously going yard. But as a pitcher, when you're getting that run support, when you're getting that support at the plate from your teammates, does that make it easier for you to go out there and just do your thing?
100%. Whenever we put up runs, it's always like, get me back out there right now. I'm good to go.
So now we enter into another game. Quick break here. How do you prepare for something like this when it's back-to-back like that?
You just got to reset, get going, get ready, forget about this game, get going for the next.
Ladies and gentlemen, 9 strikeouts. Your starting pitcher and your Snap Fitness player of the game, Josh Tucker. Honorable mention, obviously, Tyler McWillie, grand slam, home run. But Gulls win here in game number 1 tonight. And as we mentioned, we're going to have a 30-minute break.
Well, there you go.
And we're going to get back at it again.
Player of the game, Josh Tucker, and he says, you know what? When you're hot, you're hot. And when he gets off, he says, "Get me back in there. I'm ready to go."
That's right. And, and we talked about run support for the pitchers. They're throwing out, Stephen Hospital and Tyler Boudreau and Tyler McWillie and now Josh Tucker, and the list goes on. Guys are getting the effort. They just weren't getting the run support. Well, they got the run support today, and I have to apologize to my friend Tyler McWillie. Yeah, I know you probably deserve the player of the game, but you've already got one. Yeah. And Josh pitched a really strong game. So
really did.
Had you not hit that grand slam, it wouldn't have been such a difficult decision. But honorable mention to Mr. McWillie for his efforts tonight as well. 2 home runs and 2 no-doubters.
Absolutely, and I love how Tucker kind of near the end, he said, when I don't need to, when I'm getting the bats going well for me and everything like that, he said, I like to just get back out there and keep throwing. Well, game 2, get him back out there. Can't let him keep throwing. But no, that's way too many, way too many pitches for him. And he had a complete game, and it was a really solid effort by the Sylvan Lake Gulls. And we'll see what happens here in the next game when they take on the Swift Current 57's, as we are about to have the tail end of our doubleheader next at 8:05. But for now, thanks for tuning in. Tune in again at 8 o'clock if you'd like to catch that one with Jim Claggett, myself, Cale Clark, and the whole broadcast crew at hnlive.ca. It's been a pleasure with another bird's eye view on this one. Have a good night.